So obviously the table rock fire did a lot of damage up here. What's the plan to get people out and get involved and repair this area?
So the Table Rock Fire burned 2,500 acres, and majority landowners, including Idaho Fish and Game, City of Boise, the Harris Wildlife Mitigation, and Idaho Department of Lands have put together a collaborative plan to rehabilitate this area. So we've been utilizing volunteers, we've had over 200 thus far, to plant sagebrush as well as bitterbrush. The fire burned critical wildlife habitat for wintering elk as well as mule deer, and so sagebrush and bitterbrush are important components of their winter diet. Also, sagebrush does not come back after fire, and therefore we need to plant it to get it back on this landscape. Bitterbrush can resprout vegetatively after fire, but it depends on how hot it burned.
What has the response been from the community as you try to get volunteers?
The response has been overwhelming. We had to close volunteer sign up because we had so many volunteers and only so many plants that we could actually plant. We're hoping to do additional events in the spring as well as next fall throughout the next 5 years so that we can engage the entire community in this effort.
The couple of plants here. So we got a bitterbrush here.
So this is a bitterbrush, antelope bitterbrush, Persea tridentata. It's considered to be highly palatable to antelope as well as mule deer and elk, and that's why it's in this cage right here. Rabbits also really love to eat them. So the number one way we can protect these seedlings after we plant them is to put the netting or the cage around them, and then we'll take these off in future years as these plants get bigger. The really large skeletons that you see on this landscape were all antelope bitterbrush. Some of the smaller ones were sagebrush. So sagebrush does not resprout vegetatively after fire. It cannot survive a hot fire. And so it's really important to put sagebrush back out here as it's important winter forage for a number of wildlife species. We planted sagebrush kind of 50-50 with antelope bitterbrush to get a nice mixed forage out here for wintering animals.